10 culture shocks of moving to Scotland. Moving to Scotland is like stepping into a storybook filled with castles, kilts, and a fair share of surprises. If you're planning to pack your bags and call Scotland home, you're in for a mix of charm, quirks, and traditions that might leave you both fascinated and bewildered. But don't worry, I've got your back. Today, let's dive into 10 culture shocks of moving to Scotland. The good, the unexpected, and everything in between. Trust me, by the end of this, you'll feel more than ready to embrace this beautiful, slightly unpredictable country. 10. Kilts. Alright, let's start with the iconic kilt. Before moving to Scotland, you might have thought kilts were reserved for weddings, Highland games, or maybe a scene in Braveheart. Nope. Once you get here, you'll see kilts being worn like everyday outfits. It's not unusual to see someone striding confidently down the street in a kilt, pairing it with a casual jacket or even sneakers. Why? Because kilts are more than clothing. They're a proud expression of heritage. The different tartan patterns you'll spot aren't just pretty designs. They represent clans and families, each telling a story of Scottish history. Now, I'll admit, the first time I saw someone wearing a kilt while walking their dog, I was intrigued, but the more you see it, the more it makes sense. It's not just about tradition, it's about pride, identity, and let's be real, comfort. You might even find yourself wanting one. Honestly, rocking a kilt feels kind of cool. 9. Queues. Oh, queues. You've seen them, right? At the supermarket, the bus stop, or even outside a fish and chip shop. But in Scotland, queuing isn't just an action, it's an art. Scots take their queues very seriously. No cutting, no sneaking ahead, and definitely no impatience. The unspoken rule is simple. Wait your turn, respect personal space, and keep the line moving. It's such a common practice that it becomes second nature after a while. Got a long queue ahead of you? Chatting with the person next to you often helps pass the time, and hey, you might even learn some local slang while you're at it. But here's the kicker. Once you embrace the queuing culture, you'll start appreciating the fairness and order it brings. So, the next time you're waiting in line at the bakery for a warm sausage roll, just relax and enjoy the process. 8. People are so friendly. One thing you'll love about Scotland is the people. There's this stereotype that Scots are rough and tough, but trust me, they're some of the kindest, warmest people you'll ever encounter. Whether you're asking for directions, making small talk at the local pub, or just wandering around, you'll find people who genuinely want to help and chat with you. And the conversations? Oh, they're endless. Scots love a good natter. That's chat in Scottish slang. The elderly man at the corner store might share tales from decades ago, while your neighbour could invite you in for tea and biscuits. The friendliness isn't just surface level either. Once you make friends, you're in for pub nights, weekend trips, and hearty home-cooked meals. Scots know how to make you feel welcome, and before long, you'll feel less like a visitor and more like part of the family. 7. The accent. Now, let's talk about the accents. Scotland is home to a lot of accents, and each one has its own unique flair. You've got the strong Glaswegian accent, the softer Edinburgh tone, and the lilting Highland voices. At first, understanding these accents might feel like solving a puzzle, but don't worry, you'll get there. Some words might throw you off completely. Imagine hearing someone say, "I'm fair puckled," translation, "I'm very tired." But honestly, the accent is part of the charm. The rolling R's, the quirky slang, and the musical way they speak will grow on you and constantly remind you that this unique accent is one of the 10 culture shocks of moving to Scotland. Pro tip: if you're struggling, just ask for clarification. Scots are patient and they'll happily explain what they mean, usually with a laugh. Plus, it's a great way to pick up some fun new phrases for your vocabulary. 6. A bit of rubbish here and there. This one might surprise you. Scotland has an amazing focus on being eco-friendly, but you might occasionally spot rubbish on the streets. At first glance, it might seem like people don't care, but that's far from the truth. Scotland is one of the most environmentally conscious places in the world. They've got strong recycling programs and initiatives to reduce waste. The occasional litter you see? It's usually a result of limited trash bins or windy weather. As you settle in, you'll notice how much emphasis is placed on reducing your carbon footprint. So grab your reusable shopping bags, more on that in a minute, sort your recycling, and join in on the country's mission to keep the planet green. 5. You will buy your own bags at the supermarket. Speaking of reusable bags, don't leave home without them. In Scotland, supermarkets don't hand out free plastic bags. If you forget to bring your own, you'll have to buy one. At first, it might feel like a minor inconvenience, but soon you'll see the bigger picture. Scotland is serious about cutting down on plastic waste, and this small change makes a huge difference. Before you know it, you'll have a collection of cute, reusable bags that you'll proudly carry around. And honestly, it feels pretty good knowing you're contributing to a cleaner planet every time you shop. 4. Milkmen. Yep, milkmen are still a thing in Scotland. It's like stepping back in time. Early in the morning, you'll see fresh milk in glass bottles delivered right to doorsteps. This tradition is more than just charming. It's practical and eco-friendly. By using glass bottles, Scotland reduces its reliance on plastic containers. Plus, there's something special about waking up to find fresh milk waiting for you. If you move here, give it a try. You'll feel like you're part of a lovely, old-fashioned tradition, while also doing your bit for the environment. 3. Drinking in public. Drinking culture is big in Scotland, but here's a twist. Public drinking is regulated differently depending on where you are. In some areas, it's completely fine to sip a pint in the park, while in others, it's strictly prohibited. If you're unsure, just check for signs or ask a local. Scots love their beer, whiskey, and social gatherings, so you'll never feel left out. Just remember to be respectful of the rules, and you'll fit right in. 2. Religion takes a back seat. Scotland's religious history is undeniably rich, steeped in centuries of traditions, rituals, and influences that have shaped its culture, architecture, and societal norms. However, as you step into modern-day Scotland, you'll notice a significant shift. Many people now identify as non-religious. This growing secular trend is not just a passing phase, it's a fundamental part of the country's evolving identity. Religion no longer dominates public life in the way it once did. Instead, this secular approach influences everything from policymaking to day-to-day interactions. For instance, public events and celebrations often lean toward inclusivity, focusing on community rather than religious affiliations. Casual conversations too reflect this change. You're less likely to hear religion as a central topic unless it's brought up in a broader cultural or historical context. That said, Scotland's openness and diversity remain its defining features. While secularism is prevalent, it doesn't translate to a lack of respect for religious practices or beliefs. Scotland is home to a wide range of faiths and cultures, and this coexistence creates a harmonious environment where everyone is free to express their beliefs or lack of without judgment. Whether you're deeply religious, moderately spiritual, or identify as completely non-religious, you'll find that Scotland provides an accepting and open-minded community. People here value individuality and mutual respect, emphasizing the importance of understanding different perspectives. This respect extends beyond mere tolerance. It fosters genuine curiosity and appreciation for the unique ways people navigate their spiritual or secular journeys. 1. Media censorship. Finally, let's talk about media. Scotland, like the rest of the UK, has its own rules about what's allowed on TV, radio, and other platforms. Some content might be censored or restricted compared to what you're used to. It's not a big deal once you get used to it, but it's worth knowing beforehand. If anything, it'll give you a chance to explore more local media, from TV shows to films, and gain a deeper understanding of Scottish culture. Adjusting to life in Scotland comes with its fair share of surprises, but that's part of the adventure. From embracing kilts and accents to navigating queues and recycling, These experiences will help you settle in and appreciate the quirks of your new home. Remember, the key to enjoying the 10 culture shocks of moving to Scotland is keeping an open mind, a sense of humour, and a willingness to learn. Before you know it, you'll not just be living in Scotland, you'll be thriving. Do you think the unique cultural differences and customs of Scotland would make it an exciting and challenging place to call home? Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell.